Today we're reviewing
Pups Save Friendship Day. Amigos and me, buddies and chums.
hands down the cutest and catchiest song we've ever had on PAW Patrol. It's very simple, but that's exactly what it should be for the context. And there are lots of adorable moments all through it. I feel like this winsome charm isn't really seen in the show anymore.
I wonder who lives here. As long as it is a who and not a what, or a sneaky, skulky, grabby gotcha thing. I'm sure it isn't, though.
Having the B-plot of a Friendship Day episode be about a spooky house is actually kind of bold, but I love the contrast. Also, the comedic moments feel natural and unpolished, which is in itself quite charming.
This takes us past...
Spookiness also makes for lots of adorable, scared faces.
But the south side is where the spooky house is.
Cute characters getting spooked over silly little things is a real favorite trope of mine. I find it just so adorable, and wouldn't expect it in a Valentine's Day episode.
I can do it. No matter what rain or snow or storms may brew, we pups will see the mail gets through.
Marshall just randomly coming out with a postal worker motto is weird, but very cute. And Rocky just not paying attention to it. Or anything. These all paws on deck episodes were a fun novelty the very few times we had them. Sometimes we don't need a line of dialogue. Sometimes we just need cute little barks.
Yuck. Do we have any liver-flavored stamp?
Gentle, good-humored little moments, especially with some canine touches, feel like a bit of a lost art for the show. That's still true even though our current season has been better than the last few.
Well, Foggy Bottom is best friend forever friendly.
Oh, Adventure Bay is best friend forever plus 100 years friendly. No changes.
I said it for the recent Pups Save Tea Time, and I'll say it here too. A little annoying though they are, I like these two having a squabbling siblings dynamic.
Let's get back to our balloon baskets. We have a Friendship Day contest to win.
Indeed, Humdinger was a lot more fun like this than as a whiny man-baby. Getting a huge cake would probably be the best possible outcome for him, but winning by any means necessary is more important to this more villainous Humdinger.
Why, that is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen.
Leading into the climactic scenes by focusing on Humdinger's narcissism, but then pulling it back to more human connections, ends this in a smart way. And the amusing image of Rocky carefully crafting this cakey effigy off-screen is also wonderfully surreal. This mixture of smartness and silliness is what made PAW Patrol much better than it needed to be back in the early days.
You tried to save me. That's the nicest thing you, or anyone, has ever done for me.
That's what friends do for each other.
You mean you and I are friends?
Humdinger's had some development, but reverted right back to his wicked ways many times over the years. But this might have been the most convincing change of heart moment. Probably needed 10 or 20 times this many balloons, though. We'll just say the PAW universe has gases that exert buoyancy beyond anything in our universe.
Friends, wait for me!
I've always thought this moment was done just perfectly for the comedy. Silly Chase landing exactly upside down like that.
It's ruined, wrecked, ravaged. Don't look at it, Chickaletta.
It's actually funny how you can see these characters were fun and silly back then, but these days have mostly become these watered down, mostly annoying and charmless versions.
No! Chickaletta, don't try to rescue me!
This mixture of utterly over the top and yet also understated is tricky to get right, but they manage it very well.
Ways to say I'm a friend to you. Friends, we are all friends, yeah.
This little delivery montage is very cute, including to just, whales in the bay. I'm not sure how personal cards would really feel delivered to me by cannon shot by a pup driving by without slowing down, but it is nice to see the residential area on the hill, which, after a certain point pretty soon, basically never gets seen again. Nice to briefly see Jake and Everest, too.
Sneaky, quiet, like a mouse.
We need more episodes where single lines of dialogue might randomly be sung.
I've got bunnies on the breeze! Hairs in the air! They're everywhere!
This kind of jocular dialogue, too. We don't really get the pups speaking so playfully anymore. Also, the silly bunnies are just very cute. They would probably think Humdinger intentionally put them in these baskets, though.
I know where these bunnies are coming from.
Yep. This almost actually makes me feel bad for Humdinger, since the bunnies weren't actually his fault.
What else could go wrong?
The old classic what else could go wrong cut to something going even more wrong setup is cute and all, but my positive point here is the whining. Another doggy thing the pups don't really do anymore, but totally should. It's just so cute.
Spatula! I knew this would come in handy one day.
It's a funny little gag that he's always had this otherwise useless tool in his kit, and generally he's just adorable here. Every pup gets given something to do. Early Zuma gets maybe his most widery of widers.
Wider!
You mean Maynard? Oh, he's just a grouchy old raccoon. Whoa! Maynard! Stop it!
The gradual devolution of Miss Marjorie from mercurial little old lady to perfect athletic stunt goddess was not a good one in my view. But here in her introduction, she was an entertainingly quirky new character, as well as a satisfying resolution to the little mystery of this house.
That's our Marshall, putting that stamp in Stampede.
Oh, Chase, your jokes are even worse than Marshall's. Putting the stamp in Stampede barely makes sense, even if we charitably call those two a stampede. But Chase's joke being bad is in and of itself pretty cute, and seems right for his character. So whether that was the intention or not, it goes in positives. It's really, really cute, and animating 6, 7, don't say it, characters at once is tough. But this skipping is a bit clunky, and it's a shame it isn't to the beat at all.
Broccoli green for Mr. Porter.
What's this magic paint? It doesn't splash around the shape, and it dries instantly so that it doesn't make a mess? Yeah, there's really not much to complain about in this episode, so my negatives are gonna be on this nitpick level.
Oops.
After Marshall gets a bit overexcited and fires off his paint cannon, I feel like Sky's expression is maybe a bit too murderous.
Chase, I need your net between those two lampposts and those two trees.
Incredibly convenient lampposts and trees. And it's funny they put an extra lamppost in the background here because they became aware the road otherwise didn't have any, and hadn't had any in the last shot.
Whoa! Ouch! My ankle!
Oh, bad Kitty Witty. You should learn to aim better.
This comes across slightly unconvincingly. So Humdinger and the Chase Kitty actively wanted the situation to unfold this way. They shoot cards at the mailman, making him fall, and somehow being sure he'd hurt himself, so that the cards don't get delivered and Foggy Bottom seems friendlier. It's half-baked and unlikely to actually work out. And rather than seeming like an in-character dumb plan, it seems more like a writer just kind of winging it. Plus, it's unusually vicious for Humdinger.
All right, pups, let's get those friendship cards delivered.
Some of the animation is very stiff. Writer is definitely in robot mode in these shots.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Ryder.
Also, who gave Mr. Postman that cast and crutch? Adventure Bay's Phantom EMT pup.
Foggy Bottom has all the dentists.
Actually, in Season 1, Episode 21B, a Pups Save a Tooth, we clearly see... I'm kidding. Please do pay attention to how a gag like this is not meant to be taken as gospel truth, though. All you... highly literal people taking the talking cat gag from the Rocky special way too seriously.
What? A giant cake?
Kind of on a related note, though, it's interesting that Humdinger understands the meows as though they were human speech, huh? Oh, Chase, you don't need your sirens on for this. Don't you know that sort of behavior will end up being scrutinized and decried by totally online people obsessed with how this reflects on police abusing their power in a totally different country in a few years? So yeah, easy on the siren abuse.
Hi, friends.
I'm not sure this is quite cutting it as a judgy writer face. It looks a bit more... how you doing? Gas humor.
Drat it all!
The car!
This maybe seems a little callous of Marshall. Probably should have had a line where Mayor Goodway calls down that they're okay. Otherwise, his priorities are a bit mixed up. This always struck me as a little mean-spirited to Rubble as a larger pup.
I'm a friend to you.
This and the shot of Chase and Sky a little before it would end up being used again and again in a romantic context, including by the official YouTube channel as recently as yesterday. It's a song about friends, as in friend zone friends. Shipping is harmless fun people can do in their own spaces. But I think it's a shame if a clear creative intention just gets ignored and misconstrued, especially when it's something official. The exact same goes for ships of a slightly different hue, before anyone insinuates any sort of bias from me. I simply like what's being shown as friendship to be understood as friendship.
Yay, Marshall!
Oh no, he must taste way worse than liver sausages. It's pup behavior we should probably see more of, but that stinky mare doesn't deserve this.
And here's one for Francois.
This is a real nitpick that I'm sure I wouldn't have if I hadn't learned to animate. But it bothers me that Marshall's ears are just fixed in place and don't flap at all.
How do you say friend and friend?
They also bother me a little with how they kind of twitch in this shot.
No matter how you say it, friends have the best time.
Pups Save Friendship Day is very easily in the S tier of PAW Patrol episodes and segments. If someone wants to try the show, it's the episode I tend to recommend. It has all the cuteness you could want and shows each pup in action, but it's also smart and deftly juggles A and B plots before bringing them together at the end. It has cute songs reminiscent of My Little Pony Gen 4, really funny gags both in the script and animation, lots of rich characterization and growth, and great contrasting subplots. The pups really seemed like part of their community and friends with one another, and Humdinger was a good mix of selfish, embittered, and yet also just a little sensitive and receptive to change. So much here is so good. Overall, 9.5 out of 10. One of the best of all time. It's honestly crazy that these days I wince if I see Michael Stokes' name pop up as the writer for things like Humcat Dingerman, Robo Chicken Purse, and Humball, when he's capable of the absolute best. I reserve 10 out of 10 for when something really moves me, but this is pretty much as close as it gets. Alright, those are my thoughts on a classic episode. It's not without flaws, but the good points massively outweigh any faults I can find. Let me know if you agree or disagree, and I will see you guys again next time.